Back in 2010, the Maryland General Assembly passed a law that said all municipal governments, that is, local governments of counties or towns, have to have the same identical ethics ordinance as it relates to conflicts of interest and financial disclosures. Prior to that time, since the 1970s, the towns had to have ethics laws if they were required to do it, but they could change the provisions of what they had to require, who had to report, what they had to report, and those things. And the state decided in 2010 and years prior that that wasn't going to be good enough, that all elected officials across the state of Maryland, whether they work for the state, the county, or the local level, must comply to the same ethics provisions as related to conflicts of interest and financial disclosure.
Point out where we are today is we are still under the existing ordinance, which does not meet the state guidelines. So changes have to be made.
It is going to replace the ethics ordinance that is on the books. So it's really irrelevant what is on the books. It's going to take the good things that were in the prior ethics ordinance, add what is required by the state, and then even improve upon that more. It'll talk about how you deal with campaigns and raising money and reporting money that goes on in the scope of getting elected or influencing the vote here in Rising Sun.
Rising Sun didn't have anything in there, and the state guidelines do not apply to Rising Sun, right, if I remember correctly. So essentially there was nothing in the ordinance to provide how much could be contributed, how much could be expended, and this will now have something on the books to kind of control it.
And I would say too that it's good business practice. It's good political practice to put something in there like that.
It's oversight.
Our Ethics Commission, Rising Suns, will create a form that all elected officials and appointed officials will have to fill out on a yearly basis. And that form will show what holdings you have in a general sense, real estate, stocks. It's basically going to be the same. Talk to any elected official in the state, they're going to fill out the same issue. That'll be filed every year. It's open to the public can look at it, and it's an attempt to make sure that there's more clarity and more crystal clear vision into the town's activity. They would like it done as soon as possible. They want this law effective so that in January 1, 2013, you would have to file for all your activity of 2012.